Hey guys, so today we're doing the updated EX11 list for Galacticmon. After the profile, I'm gonna end the video with a little bit of strategy and combos that you can do with the deck, but let's get into it, alright? So start off 4 of BT21 Summons. Inheritable is all turns. You get, if you have 4 more Venmons and Stitch sources, you get plus 3k DP. So that is going to help you punch over a bunch of stuff and also keep you big enough on your opponent's turn that they can't remove some of your top end. And then we're going to go onto the rookies. So for rookies, we are running 10 of the BT11 Venmons. So you can have 50 copies of this. The main effect is that you can suspend it, and you look at the top 3 cards of your deck, add a Snatchmon, Destromon, Galacticmon, or Fusionize to hand, and then you place a Venmon underneath as this Digimon's bomb Digivolution source, and then you put the rest on the bottom of the deck. The inheritable is if you Digivolve into a Destromon or Galacticmon, once per turn, you can lower the Digivolution cost by 1. Alright, so very useful for getting up into your top end very quickly, for searching out pieces that you need. We run 10 of them just to fill out the deck, and also because this is, like I said, this is your primary search. Alright, so we also run 4 of the BT18 Venmon. Same kind of stats, but on play, you reveal the top 3 and add a card with Venmon in text to your hand, and then place a Venmon as the bomb Digivolution source of one of your Digimon. So it doesn't have to be this. It can, if you have a bigger stack that you're trying to build up, you can put it over there, and then put the rest to the bottom of the deck. And then we are finishing out our rookies. We also run 4 of the BT21 Venmons. So on play, you can trash a card with Venmon in text from your hand, and then you can grab a card with Venmon in text that's not a Digi-Egg from your trash and add it to hand. So if you have something, if you're missing a piece and it's in your trash, this is how you recover it. Mostly this is for like Tamers and such. Both of them have the same inheritable effect, that when you Digivolve into a Digimon with Venmon in text, you can lower that Digivolution cost by 1. So these guys add your level 4 to the list of things that has a lower Digivolution cost if it's in your sources. Moving on to the level 4s, we are going to run 4 of the BT18 Snatchmons. So 6 cost, 6k, 3 to Digivolve, and you can Digicross 4 Venmon for a -1 cost for each Venmon. And if you don't have anything other than Venmons on field, then you can use Venmons that are in trash as well. And that does count for if you don't have anything on field at all. Okay, so this is a great little recovery piece. When Digivolving, you can grab up to 2 Venmons from trash and place them in as this Digimon's bomb Digivolution sources. End of your turn. If you have 4 or more Venmons in this Digimon sources, you can Digivolve into a Digimon with Venmon in text from your hand. So even if you go over to your opponent's turn, before their turn, you can Digivolve real quick, just as a final little thing before you pass. Its inheritable is all turns. When any Venmons from this Digimon's Digivolution sources are put to the bottom of the deck, this card becomes a blocker and unsuspends. All right. until the end of your opponent's turn. So very good way to just be able to stop your opponent. Make it so that attack math is off for them. All right. Our other level 4 is of course the BT21 Snatchmon. Same stats, same play cost. But on play, when digivolving, you search the top 3 cards of your deck. You add 1 card with Vemmon in text to your hand and trash the rest. Then you can take up to 2 Vemmons from your trash and place them as the bomb Digivolution sources of one of your Digimon. So once again, it's not necessary that it has to be this Digimon. It can be any of your other Digimon. So if you have a bigger stack that you're trying to build, you can do that. And you don't even have to reveal those Vemmons off of those top 3. It can just be any of them that you have in trash. The inheritable is all turns. When any Vemmon are returned to the bottom of the deck from this Digimon's Digivolution cards, you delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 4 or less. So that can help just clean up those little, the level 3s and the low cost level 4s that you've got to deal with. Next, we are going to go to our level 5s. 3 of the BT21 Destromons. 10 play cost, 5 to Digivolve, 10k, and he can Digivolve over a Vemmon for a cost of 6. So when Digivolving, until your opponent's turn ends, this Digimon cannot have its stacked cards removed. If that was the whole effect, I would still be running this at 3. That means that this stack is immune to De-Digivolve and source stripping from your various blue decks. But it goes on that you can then De-Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. For every, or sorry, you can one of your opponent's Digimon is De-Digivolved 1 for every 2 Vemmons in sources. Routinely, you have like 4 or more in this thing's sources, so you can get De-Digivolve 2 on there. All turns, when this card would leave the battle area, you can play a Vemmon from its sources for free. So you can, if you've got your search or your trash recovery, you can play out one of those and get their effects immediately. If it's going to survive until your turn, you can, of course, play out the BT11 Vemmon for some better search. But that is, that's just kind of your safety effect. And of course, on your opponent's turn, when one of your opponent's Digimon attacks by returning 2 Vemmon from this Digimon's Digivolution cards to the bottom of the deck, end that attack. So you don't even have to block. You can just say, no, your attack is over now. And our other level 5 is, of course, 3 of the promo Destromons. Same stats on play when Digivolving, or sorry, you can Digicross with this, -1 for each Digimon that you put in here, but you can get a Snatchmon and up to 4 Vemmon. So you can hard play this for 5, but you are going to need to do it like a regular Digicross, so hand and field only. On play and when Digivolving, you can delete Tamers and Digimon whose play cost totals to 3. And for every Vemmon in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, you increase that by 1. Usually you're going into this when you have 4 or more Vemmon, so you're going to be deleting a total play cost of at least 7 on most occasions. And then, of course, opponent's turn. Once per turn, when one of your opponent's Digimon attacks by returning 2 Vemmons from any of your Galacticmon's Digivolution cards, to the bottom of the deck, change the attack target to this Digimon. So if you have 2 Galacticmons out, you can bottom deck a different one's sources if you don't have one on the Galacticmon that has this still. And then you'll redirect it into this stack. All right. Now, moving on to the level 6s and the big boy himself. We are running 3 BT21 Galacticmons. He is still that important to the deck. All right. So 14 play cost, 6 to Digivolve, 14k. He can Digivolve over a Snatchmon for 9, so you can actually skip over your Destromon if you need to. When Digivolving, you take 4 cards that have Venmon in text, put them from your trash, put them as this Digimon's Bomb Digivolution source, and then you can play a Ragnarok Cannon from hand or trash for free. All right. We'll get to Ragnarok Cannon, but that is a major power play on this card, and I do have to point out it is exactly 4 cards, so it has to be 4. It can't be more. It can't be less. But it is any card with Venmon in text, which is not only all of your Digimon, it's all of your Digi-Eggs and all of your Tamers and all of your option cards. So just if you have 4 or more cards in your trash, this effect can be live. Start of your main phase, delete one of your opponent's Digimon. It's your choice, whatever. It is a compulsory thing, which has tripped me up on occasion, but that effect just removes something. All turns, not a once per turn. When this card will be removed from the field or leaves the battle area, you can take 4 Venmons from its Digivolution sources and put them to the bottom of the deck, and it does not leave the battle area. So as long as you have Venmons underneath, at least 4, you can stop him from leaving via effect, battle, anything, and that's deletion, bounce back to hand, spun to the bottom of the deck. Does not matter. All right, so I know we've been going through a lot of older cards, but here is the new boy. 3 of the the EX11 Galacticmon. Same stats, same play cost, all of that. He can Digivolve over a Snatchmon for 9. He can Digivolve over a different Galacticmon for 5. He has Assembly -6, 8 cards with Venmon in text, which is once again the whole deck, options, Tamers, Digi-Eggs included. All right. So you can hard play him for 8 cost if you put 8 cards from your trash underneath him. On play and when Digivolving, you select one of your opponent's Digimon and with the highest play cost and delete all other Digimon. Then, if this card has 4 or more Venmons in its Digivolution sources, it gains blocker and is immune to your opponent's effects until the end of their turn. So this guy can come in, almost completely board wipe your opponent, and then is untouchable by them. Now, this does mean he's a little bit more vulnerable for combat, but it also means you're not going to lose any resources because of effects going off. So your opponent, no matter how many times they try to delete him, unless it's by combat, he's not going anywhere. And end of opponent's turn, this card can Digivolve into another Galacticmon from your hand or trash, ignoring its Digivolution requirements and cost. So, you can Digivolve into him, pass to your opponent, and then Digivolve into your BT21 Galacticmon at the end of their turn to get your Ragnarok Cannon out and delete some more of their stuff. All right. So this is probably one of the bigger changes in the deck, and definitely a good playmaker and a good resource. All right, so options. We are going to be running 3 Fusion Eyes. It's 1 cost. When you would play this card, if you have a Snatchmon out, you can reduce the use cost by 1. So you can play this for free whenever you have Snatchmon out. And the main effect, by placing 1 Vemmon or Destromon from your trash under one of your Digimon with uh, as its Digivolution card, you may Digivolve one of your Digimon into a Destromon or Galacticmon from your trash. So you don't. The first part, you do have to do that. So there has to be a Vemmon or Destromon in your trash. And then the second part, you can Digivolve a different Digimon. So if you have, say, 2 Snatchmons out, and you want to keep one of them on the field, you can place the the Vemmon under one, and then Digivolve the other. All right. And for its security effect, you may reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, play 1 Vemmon from among them without paying the cost, trash the rest. So you get a little bit of search, a little bit of help if your opponent checks this, and you can also get some trash set up. So obviously very useful. We are going to be running 3 Ragnarok cannons, and trust me, next month when the alt arts come out, this is I'm going to do everything I can, guys. 6 play cost, black option, main effect, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost, then place this card in the battle area. So when you play it off of Galacticmon, that's just going to be for free. You Digivolve into Galacticmon, put in 4 sources, pull and delete something for free. All right. Your turn. When one of your Galacticmon attacks, doesn't have to be BT21, can be the EX11. You can also, if you're wanting to run the BT11 Galacticmon, you can also use that. But you activate the delay effect. You delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost. If this effect didn't delete, trash the top cards of your opponent's security stack so that there is 1 card left. So you attack with Galacticmon. If you don't delete anything, you trash their stack until there's 1 left, and then Galacticmon checks that 1. So this is basically our win condition. Okay? The whole deck goes towards have this out, have Galacticmon swing, and just discard your opponent's security so they can't do anything. Security effect is you may play one card with Vemmon in its text and a play cost of 6 or less from your hand or trash without paying the cost. Then add this card to the hand. The only thing that you really got to worry about with that is you can't play option cards with that. Options have a use cost, not a play cost. I know it's sad, but that does mean that you can play any Snatchmon. You can Digicross your Snatchmon when you play it. You can play any of your Vemmons, so you can get some more search, or you can play any of the Tamers we're about to go over. All right, so speaking of Tamers, we actually have kind of a hefty lineup. We are going to be playing one of the BT18 Zeniths. So start your main phase by trashing 1 Vemmon in your hand, draw 1 and gain 1 memory. Your turn, when any of your Digimon attack by suspending this Tamer and returning 2 Vemmons from those Digimon's Digivolution cards to the bottom of the deck, de-Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. So That's good for just making big threats smaller, and of course, resource generation. You can also use that to help your Galacticmon unsuspend. So if you have this and a Galacticmon out with your Ragnarok cannon, that's just game. All right. We're going to be running 2 of the BT21 Zeniths. So start of your turn, if you have 2 or less memory, set it to 3. He's a memory fixer. Already a good start. On play, you reveal the top 3 cards of your deck and add a card with Vemmon in text to hand. So that is the whole deck. If you add Vemmon to your hand, you can play that Vemmon just for free. And then you trash the rest. So he's also helping you set up your trash. And then lastly, our final card is 3 of the EX11 Xenos. So, first off, his name is treated as Zenith. So, it currently doesn't matter, but I assume eventually we'll get something for that. And start of your main phase and on play, you can trash 1 card with Vemmon in text from your hand to draw 1 and gain 1 memory. So that doesn't actually have to be a Vemmon. You can do any card in the deck, which essentially makes him a 3-cost play. All turns when your Digimon are played or Digivolve, if any of them have Vemmon in their text, by suspending this Tamer, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, top 2 cards of your deck, place all Vemmon among them as any of your Digimon's bottom Digivolution cards, and trash the rest. Okay. So also helping you set up your trash and helping you make your stacks bigger. So this is the deck. Let me go ahead and let me set up real quick, and I'll show you some combos. Okay, so first, as the game-winning combo, this one's important, and essentially this is minimum viable product for winning the game with Galacticmon. You've got your Ragnarok cannon, you've got your Zenith out, you've got your Galacticmon with the BT18 Snatchmon and any 2 Vemmons. So, start of your main phase, you delete anything that you delete whatever the last Digimon your opponent has is. So that's gone. Then you're going to attack. You're going to activate your Ragnarok cannon. It'll attempt to delete something, won't be able to. So trash their security now. Okay, they have 1 security left. You suspend this. You take your 2 Vemmons and put them to the bottom of the deck. And then this effect activates so that when Vemmons are returned to the bottom of the deck, you can unsuspend. And now it's blocker, and that doesn't matter. So it does the check. 14k, it's probably going to be fine. Your opponent has no security left. Swing again, victory. Even if your opponent has something out that is immune to deletion, or if they have, say, an armor trait, armor purge Digimon, then Ragnarok Cannon treats that as the Digimon is not deleted. If they save it, it's not deleted, so they still trash their security. I've had several people who are very shocked when they hear that, and that is always good for me, because that means that they are now going to just lose the game, honestly. Okay, so next up, say you're going to Digivolve your Snatchmon into a Destromon. Okay, so for Destromon, you want to get the most bang for your buck. So with Snatchmon in this position, you're going to lower the Digivolution cost by 4. So this is going to be a 1-cost Digivolution. That's fine. But now you've got Xeno out. So don't forget that when digivolving, he's going to delete some stuff. So what you want to do is suspend your Xeno, check your top two, and put those Venmons underneath. So now your Destromon, instead of deleting 7 play cost, is deleting 9. So that is 3 of the utility tamers, or you can do 2 memory setters, or even just 3 rookies. They're like uh, order of operations is going to become very important, and that is definitely something that you want to look out for. Um, there's also the same kind of thing is going to come up if you're using your BT21 Destromon. So the D-Digivolve, I would always try to make sure that you use any Xenos you have out before activating their when Digivolving effects. And I'm even going to include Galacticmon's effect in that, because you want to, if Xeno sees anything other than Venmons, you're going to trash it. So you digivolve into your Galacticmon, and if you don't have enough cards in trash, you can always just give it a shot. All right. Putting more Venmons underneath is going to help protect it, help protect your BT21 Galacticmons, keep them from being removed from the field, and of course, it's also if you miss, then everything else that goes in trash is another card with Venmon in text that can be grabbed and placed as a bomb distribution source to make sure that you can play a Ragnarok cannon. And even if a Ragnarok cannon goes into trash, then all that means is that you can keep the one that's in your hand to play later for whatever other effect. If your opponent has 2 Digimon that are giving you problems, you can now play 2 Ragnarok cannons. And that was actually how I defeated a Vortextramon this week. BT21 Galacticmon just kind of came out and played a Ragnarok cannon. I managed to remove some stuff. My opponent played out a Vortextramon and tried to battle Galacticmon to remove him from the field. And so I bottom decked the Venmons, keep it around. I'm now set. He had to hard play it, so I was set to 9. And then I just hard play a Ragnarok cannon. Vortextramon is safe from Digimon effects, not from option cards, not from Tamer effects like Zenith's this Zenith's D Digivolve effect. All right, so this deck can remove him pretty handily, and don't forget that the effect to create a battle is not an attack. So all the effects like changing attack targets or stopping the attack doesn't work. It's just a battle. That's not what it is. And of course, if you have Galacticmon out, and say your opponent is playing a deck similar to Security Control, you're worried about what that last check might be when you swing in, and you've got your Ragnarok cannon out, or hell, if you've got 2 Ragnarok cannons out, this is not uncommon with this deck if you go into a bit of a grind game. You can digivolve into the EX11 Galacticmon over your BT21 Galacticmon. So now you delete everything but their highest play cost. This card is now immune to all of their effects, including option cards. So you're just going to swing in. If they still have something, you can crack an additional Ragnarok cannon to just remove it, and that can still end up being game. All right. All right, and lastly, um, if you haven't played Galacticmon yet, I do want to say, like, these two cards are pretty much your perfect opening hand. If you're going first, then these two are what you are definitely what you want. If I see these, I'm not mulliganing. I don't care what the rest of the hand is. Okay, because immediately Digivolve in the back. So now I know I get my one draw, and I know when I raise, I'm going to get the search. And then I hard play Zenith, reveal top three to get another search. It is shocking how many times you will reveal the BT18 Vemmon off of this Zenith. Um, I don't know how it keeps happening. I think they're attracted to each other or something. It's like magnets, but it happens so much more than you would think. And what that's just going to do is you play this. So you Digivolve, you get your draw. You play this, you reveal three. You see this, you discard the other two cards, play this, search three more. Your opponent is now at four, but you are now at you have dug 7 cards into your deck, so that is almost a quarter of what's left in the deck after your opening hand and security are played out. You have searched. You've helped set up your trash. Sure, if this guy is going to grab anything, whatever is in your hand, he can grab any piece that you're missing, and then build a tempting little target for your opponent. A lot of times, if they have any kind of removal, they're just going to hit the biggest stack. Okay, and that's honestly what you want them to do. I don't care I don't care what they hit. With this deck, realistically, if you see these two out, if this guy's got nothing under him, sure, hit him. I don't care. He's going to the trash. I'll grab him back with Snatchmon. If this guy's got stuff underneath him, go ahead and hit him. I don't care. Same thing. I'm just going to grab him back with Snatchmon. I'm going to use Fusion Eyes to get stuff. I'm going to grab sources from trash. It does not matter. If you're playing against this deck, I would say try to leave Venmons on the field as much as you can or bounce them to hand. Because at the end of the day, I'm still like they're useful no matter where they're at, but I'm not searching with them if they aren't on my field, I'm not searching with them. And you probably want them back in my deck or in my hand is the safest spot. Because if they're in my trash or on my field, then I'm going to be able to do something with them. Even this one, sure, its on play effect is done, but if I have Galacticmon or Ragnarok Cannon, I swing, crack the cannon. You have no more security, and that's game. I don't have to unsuspend Galacticmon. These guys hang out because nobody cares about them. They're little 1K. They're 1K searchers. Everybody just kind of disregards them once they're done. All right. So, sorry for such a long video, but this is one of my favorite decks, and I always got a lot to say about stuff that I really like. Hell, I might do another one that's just the exact same deck, but showing off if I get the Altar Ragnarok Cannon, Zeniths, Destromons, and definitely eventually I want to get the gold Vemmons, but we'll see how that goes. If you have any thoughts on it, any questions, go ahead and leave comments below. Subscribe, like. I mean, if you listened to me talk about it for this long, yeah, go ahead and subscribe. You probably want to listen some more. And I'll see you all next time. All right.